Oh, he's back to normal again. He's no longer a demon. Am I dreaming?
No. Unfortunately, no. This is very real. I think this is very...
What's wrong, Mr. Wright?
Oh!
That's... Oh!
That's... Now we get it.
Oh, that's why she
The
looks
eye
different.
in his right,
yeah.
not his left, as I said in the first episode.
Yeah.
That was Verity Hyde.
Hmm.
The photo we saw in the mansion.
Yeah. Won't you at least ask for me for my name and occupation? Guess not. You're a ghost! Yes, I am. Verity Hyde. Nice to meet you. Well, we technically met like 2 hours ago. Of course, at that time you didn't know I was actually me, but... Oh, right. Guess you're kind of pissed, right?
The fact that you're a ghost has nothing to do with it.
True. Your Honor, how do we punish a ghost? Which part was it, though?
Everything, every single action you've taken so far.
Ah, that one. Yeah, I figured people might give me some flack for that.
He passed out.
Oh, good. Now it's just you and me. As it should be. You've come far. Like, really far. Nobody would have even had the word ghost pop into their heads, but... Man, I guess you are as crazy as everyone... What? Man, I guess you are as crazy as everyone said you were. The fuck?
How are you doing this?
No clue. One day I just woke up and I was back in the mansion. Don't know any more about it than you do. I've actually only recently discovered I could show myself like this. Takes a lot of effort, you know. Not being completely invisible, I mean. Still can't interact with anything, though.
You'll kill Miss Lore.
Well, I've done a lot of things, admittedly. First, I killed Dorian. You were right about that. Well, technically, Delia did. Since I was controlling her when I broke into his place.
And you got rid of his medication?
Yeah, implanted the note. Everything pretty much happened as you said on that front. Cops find him dead, find the note, find the passage. And the suspect gets away.
I suppose you forgot that Mr. Hobbs was allergic to dust?
It's not that I forgot. Okay, yeah, I might have forgotten about that. Because I took some Benadryl. To be honest, I never actually watched him have a reaction. So I never knew how allergic he was.
Hard to believe, considering you were engaged.
Mr. Wright, you know what happened between us. Honestly, that should tell you just how weak the relationship really was. I did love him, believe it or not.
You still kill him, though.
You're surprisingly calm about all this, I must say.
That's because nothing can surprise me anymore.
After cross-examining a parrot on the stand, after falling off a bridge and somehow surviving. But yeah, I suppose you have a point. I did kill him. Can't say he deserved much more than that, honestly. Anyway, that decision came only after I'd convinced Andrea to invite you over for dinner.
So, that was your idea?
Yeah. She might not look like it, but Delia was a person Andrea relied on and trusted, which did surprise me at first. But then I realized it was just a way of keeping her dog on a leash.
So, what exactly was your plan?
Well, you figured out that the hide part was there for Dorian's sake. The truth is, nobody had actually used that passage. All I did was clean it up a little as Delia to make sure it looked like it had been used. After all, there was no need for me to even touch that thing. You probably figured as much at this point, right? But you'll be interested to know I didn't intend to use Apollo at first.
Then, Miss Kate?
Oh, clever boy. Yes, my original plan was actually for you two to merely witness Mr. Hyde. And then after you left, I would have killed Andrea. Remember that clothes trick I suggested? That was my original idea as to how to divert suspicion away from Delia. I figured coupled with Hyde it'd be enough.
They could have found her DNA inside those clothes, just like we did.
You could have. That's why, in the days leading up to the crime, I'd simply wear all of Andrea's clothes at some point. That's why you found her DNA there in the first place. That way I could just claim she let me borrow them or something. Just like Delia herself ended up doing. So I would have a defense. No blood on me? Can't be the killer. Pretty clever, right? Especially with how I ended up using that to my advantage.
Why then? Why did you use Apollo?
It happened right after they found you in that room. I had to get a hold of him to convince you to leave. After all, you calling the cops that early would have been a problem.
That was her that whole time?
I knew that Andrea would be against it anyway. I actually think she thought that Dorian had come to kill her. They had this deal, you see.
I don't care about that. Why Apollo?
Well, after I took hold of him, I decided to go through his memories, see what kind of man he was. And that's when I found out, hidden deep in the back of his mind, were the memories of him in that mansion, of the abuse he took under Andrea. And I realized that if anyone should have the honor of killing that witch, fuck! Ugh. It should be him. So I improvised. Well,
But why didn't you let go of him afterwards?
why? To make sure he doesn't go to prison, of course. I mean, on his own, dazed, confused, and without memories. Do you really think he would have come up with a believable defense?
It could. I could.
You might be crooked, Mr. Wright, but you're still soft. You never would have given in to the belief that Dorian had done it, or that Delia helped Mr. Hyde after those puppy dog eyes of hers. No, this was the job for me,
But why help him?
because that was always the plan. Kill Andrea as obviously as I possibly could, and be completely acquitted of it all. Of course, in Apollo's case, it was a bit more than that. He was a victim like me, and I've kind of actually grown to liking him.
Why though? Why make it so complex? Couldn't you have possessed Miss Laura and made her kill herself?
No, that would have been too easy. She would have died not even knowing who had killed her. Hell, she would have died not even knowing she had been dying. That wasn't good enough. She had to be murdered, and she had to know. Besides, I never wanted to go into that woman's head. God, no. With a culprit, there was somebody that could get away with it all. A final insult to her and her pathetic legacy. The court she'd spent all her life screwing over had finally taken away any justice she could have had, even if my tactics had failed. Even if Apollo was about to voice crack, was about to be found guilty, I would have just done this. And then, who would the jury convict? Who will they convict now? Apollo? Sure, his body did do it, but here I am telling them it was under my influence. Why should he have to pay for something he literally had no power over? Obviously, they can't arrest me, but at the very least, they have to agree to find Apollo not guilty.
That's all it was? Just a spit in the face?
She deserved to be crushed. I don't know why you're having trouble understanding this.
Why then? Why do all of this?
Why? Why? You've seen that photo, right? Of me lying dead as a doorstep in my own little room? After I'd blown my own brains out?
So, she killed herself.
Oh.
I have, yes.
You can probably imagine what had caused that.
The affair between Mr. Hobbs and your sister.
Exactly. It crushed me, Mr. Wright. Sent me into a frenzy, really. It was like I didn't even have control over my own body anymore. All I could do, all I could think to do, was recite Baudelaire. And then... nothing. Just as I came, I disappeared, and became dust. And you know, Mr. Wright, I didn't blame Andrea or Dorian for this. Oh, no, no, no. Killing myself was my decision, and mine alone. See, it's what came afterwards that started it all. The first thing Andrea did upon finding my body was not calling police. Instead, she took that damn photo, and she gave it to Dorian as a way to taunt him. And what did he do? Did he call the police? No. He just left. That's what he did. He left. He didn't care. Well, that's not entirely true. He did try to kill himself a couple of times on the date I died. What?
What a dickhead was.
Yeah, I
Cops.
know Dorian is a fucking asshole. His
Yeah.
ex-wife kills herself and he does nothing. But really, it was just theatrics. Subconsciously, he didn't really want to die. This was more of him trying to satisfy himself, make himself feel less guilty. The attempts were genuine, of course, and I knew that if given the right circumstances, he'd do it. But he still did it for himself, not for me.
What's wrong with you?
To be honest, if I went through this, I'd probably go the same amount of insane. She's been through so much.
You can't possibly know what he was going through.
I know him better than you, Mr. Wright. Well, knew anyway. But Andrea had an even bigger insult in mind. Say, Mr. Wright, don't you find it strange that nobody heard about my suicide? Don't you find it bizarre how nobody seemed to have even heard of me? How Delia thought I'd packed my bags and left? She dumped me, Mr. Wright. She dumped me in a shallow grave and left me to be forgotten. So, when I came back, I decided that she will suffer the same fate. She says all this, but this doesn't explain why her photo is still in the mansion. Because we saw that photo of her in the mansion. Like, Andrea still somewhat cared about her, I guess. Like, a little bit, but maybe it was just for her own purposes. I'm not sure. Just like anyone that followed in her footsteps. And that's all I'm willing to say.
But wait.
There's more.
One last question. Yesterday, when we talked in the detention center, you gave me a hint. Spike's coma. What was that all about?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that. Almost forgot. When I came to, I first attempted to possess Delia. I'd usually stick around an hour or two because I didn't know what would happen if I stayed too long. I thought I'd be trapped in that body for good. But when I created my plan, I realized I needed to stay for a long time, in a single body. So I decided to do a little test. When Miss Pike came to interview Andrea for... I don't even remember, honestly.
You took hold of her, didn't you?
Yup. I decided to use the days I'd planned to be in her body, as a way of gathering more information on Andrea and co. One night, I was walking to Pike's home when, lo and behold, out of nowhere, Dorian comes out with a steel pipe and starts beating the living crap out of me.
Just as I figured. He caused that incident himself.
Obviously, I had to leave the body. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Did you look into the cause of Miss Pike's coma?
Actually, they did say it was strangle.
It was strangle.
The damage from the pipe shouldn't have been enough to put her in that state.
Right. Which means something else caused it.
You.
Right, yet again. I've deduced that if I were to take hold of a body for a longer period of time, I imagine 2 days or so, they would end up in a comatose state, just like Miss Pike. I mean, it makes sense. For one to be in control, the other must become dormant. If two souls were in control at the same time, just imagine the mess. All those memories and thoughts in one head. Who knows what would happen?
And that was your hint?
Oh, I was just screwing around. I didn't really care if you actually learned anything from it.
Wait. How long? How long have you been in Apollo's body?
Oh, shit. That's a good question.
Apollo. Apollo, can you hear me? Apollo?
Now, in my defense, I did say you get him back. I just never said in what state.
No.
You know, there's a chance he might wake up eventually.
Oh, no, no, no.
Well, correction. There was a chance. Oh, God.
Fuck no.
See, I laid the conditions very clearly, didn't I? Don't do anything and you'll get him back. I said something like that, right? Well, since you'd broken those conditions, I don't see any reason to oblige anymore. Now, I think I'll keep the body. Take him far away and leave him to rot where he'll never be found. Someone grab her.
No, don't, please.
Someone grab her.
Fuck you.
Too late. I told you earlier, didn't I? You followed in her footsteps. And everyone who followed in her footsteps has to pay.
I had nothing to do with what happened to you. And neither did he.
You have nobody to blame but yourself. You could have stopped this. Now, the jury has no choice but to find me innocent. Because if they don't, I'll kill this body before I ever leave this place. At the very least, Apollo must be given a just verdict. That's the only good ending here. I mean, face it. I will never be punished.
You.
Actually, I am merciful, you know? I'll give you a chance. A chance to get him back.
What do you want?
Oh, look at you cowering in fear. It's adorable, you know?
What do you want?
Alright. First, kneel.
You kneel?
I see you've heard me just fine. Kneel.
She'll never come back to me, will she?
Do it! Do it now!
But if there's even a chance...
There you go. Now, loud and clear so the jury can hear you, state your name and occupation for this court. Oh.
My name is Phoenix Wright.
She's gonna make him say that he's responsible. That's what he's gonna do.
I'm a defense attorney.
Oh? Defense attorney? I thought you were a prosecutor. Prove it to us. Show us your badge.
We have no option.
my badge.
Look at my badge.
Well, what do you know? He is a defense attorney. But then, whatever are you doing on that bench, darling? Answer the question, loud and clear.
I am impersonating a prosecutor.
Why? I mean, isn't that pretty stupid of you? You could have just let the officials handle this.
I didn't trust them. I didn't believe they would be able to reach the truth. I didn't believe they'd get Apollo back. I was scared.
Sorry, you were what?
I was scared. I was scared that Apollo was gone. I was scared for what might happen if I just let things be. I was scared to be left on someone else's mercy. And I felt guilty. I felt guilty, thinking I was the person that could stop him from coming back to that damn mansion. I thought it was all my fault, and I wanted to make it right.
There. You did your best. At least you admit that you were selfish. See? You are like those who follow her. Just like Dorian, in fact. Now, repeat after me. I am pathetic.
I am pathetic.
I have failed Apollo and my daughter. Come on now.
I have failed Apollo and my daughter.
I deserve whatever I get.
I deserve whatever I get.
Good. That wasn't so hard, was it? You do know I won't be giving him back, don't you?
Please.
Ha! Unbelievable. Well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have just seen how weak Mr. Phoenix Wright is. Now, I know what you're thinking. We've exposed him as a grand liar. Doesn't this mean this is a mistrial? Well, I think you'll find it in your hearts to forgive Mr. Wright. And vote. The choice really isn't that hard. I'm sure you'll agree. Just give me the guilty and let's get this over with. Oh, sorry, I meant guilty. Everyone, you have to vote guilty. The hell?
Apollo?
Impossible. You can't possibly.
But I'm still here.
Hell yeah! Let's go!
No, you're
No.
gone.
Nah. Funny, coming from a ghost. What, did you think you'd keep me in that cage forever? Do you think that I just sit by and let you destroy everything? My memories, my desires, my sense of right and wrong. You've ruined it all. You made me take a life.
She
She
deserves.
Nobody deserves to be killed. Especially, not like that.
Apollo, listen to me.
You've hurt the people I love. You've lied, cheated, and manipulated. And for what? For some pathetic revenge scheme? You
Apollo.
and Lord really do share the same genes. You're just as treated as she was. No, you're worse than her. Because you actually believe that if your honey is okay, you think you have the right to lecture others? You're alone. You were always alone. It's no wonder really.
Leave.
You're in no position to ask me that. This is my body. This is my mind. These are my memories. These are my loved ones.
Fine. Take your body then.
But I can't just let you live either. Who knows whose body you'll take next? Who knows how many people you'll hurt? Who knows how long before you realize? You're just a monster.
What are you?
The only solution is to lock both of us away in here forever.
No. You can't do this to me.
It's not your choice.
You can't have two people active in the same body. Our memories.
It doesn't matter. We'll both be in jail anyway, because already we are. We are guilty.
Oh my god. Well,
Sorry about this, Mr. Wright.
Holy shit. Oh lord.
Yeah. What the fuck?
oh god.
With the dust settled, the trial had to reach its final conclusion. Everyone agreed, due to my actions, that all of it would be ruled as a mistrial. But it didn't matter. Thanks to the eyewitness accounts of everyone there, that same day, all charges against Apollo were dropped. Fortunately, though, by the time I came to the checkup on him, he was already long gone.
Apollo fucking died. Holy shit. I did not think that this would. I've lost my words.
To be continued?
Huh? I think this might just be the epilogue, actually. Yeah, I was right.
What?
I was right. Epilogue.
1 week later. He's still gone, and things haven't gotten any better. It was bad enough telling the news to Trucy.
Oh, yeah, her heart is going to be broken.
It was even worse watching her just sitting there and listening. I'd promised to get Apollo back, and I didn't. I really had failed them both, hadn't I? But the moment of absolute devastation is probably this.
Oh.
Are we in jail?
Kristoff got what he wanted. She's going to jail for forging the ace. That's probably what's going on here.
Oh. Kristoff wasn't bluffing in the end. An arrest warrant had been issued 2 days ago. Edgeworth let us know in advance. Police didn't even have to come to our doorstep. She wanted to turn herself in. And there you go, being gloomy again.
I'm gonna take Phoenix. Sorry. I can't help myself. But the thing is, she took all of it with the biggest smile I'd ever seen her put on.
You do realize we'll be doing this for 6 months, right? If you don't bring your A game, I might not look forward to these visits.
Her trial still hasn't happened. If she's found guilty, she'll be facing 6 months in prison. Since she is 18 after all. You're right. I'll smuggle in some drugs next time.
I'm liking the way you think. I'm liking the way you think. Sorry. Daddy, honestly, relax already.
You know I can't. And if you tell me you're fine, you know I won't believe you.
Well, I mean, I won't exactly be happy in a situation like this. But hey, gives me time to think, you know?
I'll find a way out of this.
Daddy, no, not this again.
I will.
Shh. Come on now. We can keep fooling ourselves forever, can we?
Trucy.
I'm not holding back tears, if that's what you think. I'm accepting responsibility. That's what adults do. It'll only be 6 months.
But you don't deserve this. This was my mistake.
Wrong. It was my decision. Mine and mine alone. You even tried to stop me, remember? It's not about putting on a brave face anymore. I mean, we both remember how well that turned out. Sorry. It's about moving forward. I think that's what we would want to. He would want it to. No, Daddy, don't cry. It's not worth it.
Oh. This is all my fault. I failed as a father and as a lawyer. I don't recall leaving the door unlocked, you know.
Sorry.
Who's that? Sorry.
Oh,
You can take Phoenix again.
right.
But you shouldn't keep a guest waiting. That's one of my rules.
And not breaking in is one of the rules of the police department.
I'm all for a little of B&E, you know. We're still negotiating on that one.
But do you want something?
Coffee!
I'm kind of tied off at the moment.
Well, for starters, an apology would be nice.
What for exactly?
Being a bitch! Dragging my name through the mud.
Hey, I asked you if you were okay with the plan and you agreed to it.
It was under the condition you didn't lose.
And I didn't. You want some coffee or something?
Yes, I said I wanted coffee earlier. Ha! Can't.
Testing your self-control?
Can't, because I already drank the one you had lying around here.
Of course.
Still surprised Dulworth had the guts to agree to your scheme.
My blackmail material is pretty good. Let's just leave it all at that.
Oh my god. I'll take your word for it. You must have had even better ones for the committee to let you off the hook.
That was just my good looks. And the fact that nothing about the trial went public. Look, I'm not in the mood for this. Does this conversation have a particular purpose?
Let me think about it. Oh, yeah. Did you just slap Phoenix?
Oh, the bastard punched me. Oh, give me a break already.
That's for what you did to the poor kid. It didn't have to end like this. But you corrupted her, trite. You walked on that tightrope too many times and look what happened. Now try to get Dulworth to hand the case to me. Maybe I can negotiate a shorter sentence. Not even a thank you?
I didn't ask for your help. And you still haven't actually done anything aside from punching me.
I know. Where's the thank you for that?
Screw you, old man.
I'm not old. Ha! Hate to break it to you, but we're both old, trite.
You're 5 years older than me. Stupid.
You intend on getting up anytime soon?
Hey, it's all over, isn't it? Don't I get to stay here and cry at least?
That's only for the kittens, idiot. Besides, by the looks of it, you already have. Well, that was an abrupt cutoff. Handing the case over to Godot? Do you intend to take his place again during the trial?
Very funny.
Not for me, I assure you.
You approve it.
I didn't exactly have a choice.
There's always a choice, Edgeworth. Just comes down to whether or not you want others to see pics of you in a dress.
Oh my god, that's what he used? What? That's what caused all this? Some pics of Edgeworth in a dress?
Oh, cheer up.
I should be telling you that. How on earth can you be so calm even now?
My willpower, I imagine.
You should have asked for my help. You should have asked for my help with this before it became a disaster. I told you you weren't alone.
I know. But if I asked for help with this, I would get help with all other stuff.
You're hopeless, you know that.
Oh, also, did you ever find out who that ID belonged to?
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
We won't know?
Hello? The clouds, eh? Hey, buddy. You look a little green here. Okay?
Oh,
Oh!
God, it's Apollo. Green, huh? Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm Apollo Justice, and I'm fine. Looks like it's gonna rain pretty soon. You might want to get an umbrella or something.
I'll do that. Thanks.
What's your name?
Dunno.
Yeah, what do you mean you don't know?
Well, I imagine it's mostly because my memories of the two souls that in heaven his body merged. I'm the soul that it's in control now, but I can't remember which one of the two I was. Neither can the other, I imagine. Whatever they are. Whatever. Anyway, where's my cap? There's my cap.
Okay. I need to stop hanging around this neighborhood, man. I want to know who the police officer was. No. Okay.
Is he already?
Almost. You know, must be my internet to come and examine this out.
I know, and I'd consider the option. But the thing is, if I am Apollo Justice, and if I happen to fully remember that while in his cell, given that Mr. Gavin has recently done, I'd probably kill him. And that's pretty bad, I think. So yeah,
Uh-huh. Okay. Fucking weirdo. Well, anyway, he's here.
good.
Yay, I can voice Kristoff again. I know what I'm doing this time.
Well, well, well. Who do we have here?
That's what I'm here to find out, Kristoff, old chap.
Right. So, how has your existence been so far, Justice? The accusations against Vad's daughter must have been quite a blow. I can just imagine how it'll be once one comes your way, too.
Right.
Right!
Okay, I am Apollo Justice. My sister is in jail because of this guy. And I'll probably go there too. I hate this person. This guy is like the devil incarnate.
I literally have a devil in my hand.
Go. Crap, I've got nothing. Am I not Apollo then? Damn. I was hanging hoping I was him. I don't want to be there, Verity. Although, this might just be a delayed reaction. Say, Mr. Gavin, why do you wait for such a long time to go through with your scheme? I mean, if I had an ace in my pocket that couldn't destroy a man's life, I would use it immediately. If I was you, of course. Probably.
Perhaps I just waited for the right moment.
Well, good to know that's a lie. Well, Mr. Gavin, the way I see it, you either never kept the original ace, which would mean that the current one is nothing but a forgery of some kind, which would imply you have some sort of help, or you decide to just wait for the right moment,
Which I just stated is the truth.
which I've determined to be a lie. Verity did pick up some nifty tricks during her acting career.
In any case, how is dear White? He...
You know, I would love to do this. I really would. This whole toning shtick. I will adore it. But, kind of busy with something. It's obvious that I won't get anything from talking to you. So... Mr. Gavin, I'm sorry, but this isn't working out. Later.
Wait! Where do you think you're going?
To get something to eat, I guess. I'm starving.
You can't just walk away!
Yeah, I know. The only reason you did this was because you wanted to see me suffer. Unfortunately, I don't have time for you. Well, I do. I have nowhere else to go anymore. But you're a kind of a waste of memory space, Kristoff, old chap.
Damn! Taunting stick? You don't know the meaning of the word. Look at you, high and mighty. Do you know what will happen to her in prison? The things she'll have to go through? And for what? Helping you? Helping what? You've destroyed her life, you realize that?
Lucy?
But I suppose it makes a fitting end. Street trash raised by more street trash. I'll enjoy watching you.
Oh.
Oh.
Hello, Mr. Justice. Mr. Gavin. Thank you very much. Tell your parent to meet me tonight at Lure Mansion. The police should be left at this point, I think.
3 years punch the glass? Hey, you! Hold it right there! That's gotta hurt, man. Bloody
Pretty
knuckles? Bloody knuckles and everything?
Chances are good that I might be Apollo. But I have to be sure.
I'm curious to know who Kristoff's accomplice is.
Wait, this isn't the foreshadowing we saw in the intro?
This might be the intro, actually.
The one place that should have an effect on me is... right here. Where Verity Hype, possibly me, died. Can this room awaken anything in me? The blood? This is the place. I'm amazed that the blood stain is still here. You think Lure would clean it up?
She doesn't fucking care.
I mean, if she could get rid of the body, then why not this too? The doll? The weird doll?
The doll? The crazy doll?
And this would be
Crazy doll? Oh, that.
the doll with the camera. Verity had her suspicions, of course, about this affair between Lure and Hobbs. But, as with anything, she needed to be certain. This wasn't the only camera, of course. But this isn't. But it's the only one Lure bothered to keep around.
The mini fridge. Well, it's kind of a giant fridge, but
A fridge. Verity never liked going downstairs to get food. Strange. During all her time wandering another dimension, Verity never bothered to check his room that thoroughly. I imagine she never expected to find anything. I suppose it's up to me to answer the great question then. What hits under the bed?
let's see.
There's actually something here. Looks like it was put recently too.
What is it? Oh yeah, a diary.
A
Forgot about
notebook of
that.
some kind. For Verity.
Oh yeah.
Could Laura have written this? It looks like a diary.
I mean, it says it on the front of the book, dumbass.
This is the latest entry. June 18th.
Dear Verity.
Dear Verity.
No, I'll read it.
Oh.
I don't know if you'll ever read this. I don't know if you'll even care about it enough to notice it. Hell, I don't even know if you exist. But I'm writing this anyway because I'm hoping that these strange noises are you. That you've come back. That you'll finally kill me. I've done terrible things. Monstrous things. I've always known this. And I've always hated myself for it. So why did I keep pushing on regardless? Heh. As always, I was trying to prove a point. To you, actually. When we were children, you always recited that bastard Baudelaire. His Stranger in particular. In which he sees no good in the human world. And turns to his precious clouds. What a crock. You were slowly starting to embrace those ideas. And so, I decided, as insane as it might sound, to show you how wrong you were. That there is good in the world. But, as with every story, for good to rise, first you must create an evil. You can imagine what I decided to do. There's something wrong with me. Psychologically, I mean. I know that. But I can't stop myself. It's like somebody is always pulling the strings of who I am, and who I should be to the world. But beyond that, I'm also a superstitious fool. I mean, you are dead. And yet, I've remained the same. Because, I'm still hoping that you're alive, believe it or not. That's what Grandpa always said about you. That you'd come back. You'd come back and save us all. Be our knight in shining armor. So please, be my knight, and end my miserable existence.
Well, damn.
Andrea. You idiot! Idiot, idiot, idiot! How stupid could you be? No, this can't be true. It can't be.
Anybody there? Justice? Justice.
Guess Mr. Gavin's friend actually showed up. Let's go and end this.
All right, who's his accomplice?
Huh. Well, on one hand, I didn't expect it to be you. And on the other, I should have known. Given your last name after all.
No way. Oh, it's him. So, you do remember.
What gave you the impression I didn't? I mean, Apollo never had a chance to express himself during the case.
So, you want him? Your... her?
Yes and no. But that doesn't matter right now, I suppose. What does matter, I imagine, is the reason you set out to destroy the good name of justice. Your sister was a murderer.
Oh! That's... that... Aquila? No, it's not Aquila. Something A. Tiala from Apollo Justice. Yeah, her.
Oh. Surely, on that we can agree?
Murder of a guy that had almost strangled her to death. A guy who thought he would dump a dead corpse.
How old is Michael?
I can't look at the court record right now, so I have no idea.
Alright, you should know better than to justify her deeds. You're a police detective, for God's sake.
If she hadn't done what she'd done, the Katakis would have killed her.
She'd worked herself into that mess, hadn't she, though?
Her engagement to Walkie was a way of survival. If she hadn't done that, and he'd die, who knows what would have happened. After killing Makat... Pal Maractus. Maractus, they probably would have killed her too.
You don't know that.
The strength punks. Of course they would have. Or maybe it could have gone even worse.
You're trying to justify your sister's actions because you love her. I understand that. I love my own sister too. Chances are, if in your position, I would have done the same thing.
Wait, what?
Anyway, what exactly is it that you want? Revenge? For bringing a criminal to justice? You know, with what you've been saying, I would have thought you'd take your revenge on the Kentuckys. That's not what you've done. Is that because you're scared of them, detective? Is that why you chose me? Someone you could take your frustrations on? Is that why you team up with Mr. Gavin? Is that why you forged these new ways?
I did what I had to do.
So, you admit it?
You took my sister away from me, when you could have just made Walkie pay for all his crimes up to that point. You think he's innocent? You think his hands are clean? Do you have any idea how many people died because of that punk?
No. And I don't care, to be honest. Because I was just doing my job.
That's what they all say. We throw away our common sense, and for what? To uphold some law through which any richer bastard can get through?
Careful. You're starting to sound like Andrea.
Oh, shut up! Yeah, I made that ace. There's not a goddamn thing you can do to disprove its legitimacy, though. I have the bailiffs. I have Gavin. Hell, I even have Trucy Wright's confession! And what do you have? A snarky attitude, a weird hairdo, and that badge. A badge you don't even deserve. You make me sick. That all?
Sure.
I don't know what kind of man you are, but I can't forgive you for what you've done. Any of you. Goodbye, Mr. Justice.
I don't know what kind of man you are either, Mr. Tiala. But I can't forget what you've done either.
Well, we're back here. Oh no.
Jesus, finally.
Who's there?
Who's there? Oh, you're gonna take Phoenix, alright. Batman?
Who's there? You.
You know, you shouldn't really hide that spare key somewhere else. I mean, literally anyone can just walk in the way things are.
Verity.
No.
You're not Apollo, that's for sure.
True. It would appear while I possess both of their memories, I'm not quite either. I care for Trucy. And it seems now for Andrea too. I'm indifferent of you, but that could be said for both Verity and Apollo, so...
What do you want?
Love the hat, by the way.
Oh, fuck off. What do you want?
Right.
Right!
Well, I came for a job. I mean, I figure my previous employment is really valid, so...
You can't be serious.
See? I thought you might say that. That's why I prepared a peace offering.
Not interested.
But it's a magic trick. And it's a pretty good one. Call it... I call it... The get out of jail free card. Trucy's gonna be free!
Yes! Yes! The end.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Alright,
Oh,
opinion
was-
stuff.
that took a long time. Oh my god.
Double D playthrough.
Yeah, I want to
That I've
see.
seen.
I just want to make sure that there are, like, if there are any, you know, like at the end of these games, they usually have like the characters come back and say stuff. I wanted us to get through that, if there are any stuff like that, before we give our opinions on the case. Or it might just be credits. Who knows? Briefly, Vert Anderson, Phoenix Front. New Edgeworth Front. There's a new Edgeworth? Huh.
Yeah,
Crying Truce. Aw. Evil Apollo.
the Doctor, Prosecutor Phoenix.
Hey, Rothpa!
Oh, Rafa.
Alright, well, it looks like the characters aren't going to show up and say, like, their last lines or whatever, so let's just go ahead and give our opinions. So,
Yeah.
I'll go first. I'll say that I enjoyed that quite a bit, but I do think that the investigation segment was just way too long. I think that
I agree.
it took way too long to get through that investigation. And while Delia's game was interesting, I mean, I understand why some of that stuff was... I mean, I understand, like, why the answer was what it was. Like, Mr. Black got poisoned and Miss Yellow got shot. I mean, it does make sense, but it's just, like... I'm losing my train of thought. It's just that that section was just a bit too complicated for me, in my opinion. It was just, like, really hard to understand and remember everything that it was saying. But, like, everything that was said in the story, it was kind of hard to keep track of all of it. I did solve, like, quite a bit of it on my own, and I feel proud of that, but still, it was quite complicated. What are your thoughts?
I think this is a good case. The bad thing, oh my god, it's so long, the investigation.
Yeah.
Like 80% investigation, 90% investigation and 10% courtroom. Like what the hell, man? No wonder I stopped watching it after an hour and a half.
But yeah, I do think the story that it told was like really good and really captivating. I just want
That's
to
for
know.
sure.
Yeah, I just want
I
to
enjoyed the
know.
story.
Yeah, I want to know what happened to everybody after that. But I guess it's just left up to imagination. Well, we know that Trucy is going to get free. Still don't know what's going to happen with Verity and Apollo controlling one body, but I guess it's okay to leave that up to mystery. But yeah, that was very enjoyable. Just way too long of an investigation for its own good. But I mean, the story kind of makes up for it, in my opinion.
All right, so are we ending?
Yeah.
All right. I'll see you in the next Ace Attorney video.
Yes.